Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Today's topic is coping with rude elderly people. Rude and disrespectful elderly people. Before we get started, I want to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all of the new viewers, all of the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now, those of you who are new to the channel, I will answer your relationship questions. So at the end of the video, I'll show you a link where you can send in your questions. And I will either answer them privately through the email, or I will share them online with the collective. And it can be your decision. Now, those of you who are interested in these caps, they are available in my online store, and you'll find a link in the description. Now it's time for today's affirmation. And here it is. I take care of my inner child and make my future self proud. I take care of my inner child and make my future self proud. Let this affirmation sink deep. I take care of my inner child and make my future self proud. This is about healing the wounds of your inner child. Healing those wounds and making your future self proud. Let this affirmation be a blessing to you today. Now it's time for movement. And we do these movements to get our blood circulating. Now today, we're going to do a neck movement. Very simple. Sit up straight, and we're just going to do this. And that's one. And then we're going to do the other side. Now we're going to do this for 5 times. All right? You ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more. 5. All right, now let's do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, how does that feel? Shake it out, shake it out. All right, now let's dive into the message today. Coping with rude elderly people. I did pull a video. We have a short letter. Let's look at the video, and then we're going to talk about this issue. All right, here we go.
I'm recording everything you're doing. I'll send it to your daughter, so keep doing that.
Get out of here. Get out of my house.
Okay, keep doing that.
Get out of my house.
Keep doing it.
Get out of my house. Now. Get out. Get out. I'm not afraid of you.
No, stop it.
No.
Stop.
No. No. You know what no means? I guess you don't. You put it on your head.
Man, I'm tired of some of these old people. Not all old people disrespectful, but there's so many old people that feel like just because we younger, we ain't do no respect. Then they turn around and say, this generation ain't got no respect. Y'all was a generation that was supposed to teach us respect, but it's like y'all want to take care of y'all own and be disrespectful. That shit don't be making no sense, man.
They say respect to elders, and that's something that I was raised on, and that's something that I will always do. But what they fail to realize is some of these elders are moving worse than us. Some of these elders are narcissistic. Some of these elders are straight out rude and disrespectful, right? So we've been trained, we've been groomed to respect that older woman, to respect that older man. But what if he's just damn right disrespectful, rude? I still have to respect you, right? That's where things go left. Because these elders know that. Respect your elders, okay? But what if you're disrespectful? I'm going to match energy. I don't care how old you are. I'm going to match energy. You're being respectful to me. Yeah? I'll be respectful to you.
Okay, let's read this letter. She entitles her letter, Older Adults Get a Pass at Disrespect. I have noticed that older people get a pass at being able to say whatever they want because of their age. The messy older woman can be messy because she is old. I live in New York, and while we have a reputation for not being so nice, I feel some older people take advantage of their age. I had one lady call me stupid because I didn't move fast enough out of her way while she was getting by with the walker. Now, I don't disrespect people, especially my elders, but I did say to her she was old and was miserable. I will work on not reacting in the future. My question is this true that because you are a certain age, you are free to say and do whatever? No, it's not. No, it's not. Many of these rude, elderly people, they were rude when they were younger. Nothing changed. They didn't just become rude because they got older. They were this way when they were younger. But now, since they're older, they just voice it because they don't feel like they're going to get any repercussions. That's why they just come out with it now. Now, you said that you live in New York City. I used to live in New York City, and I know how the people are. They are basically rude because living in the city is very stressful to anyone, the young or the old. You see, you'll find this same disrespect from the young people in the city and the old people in the city. But understand that the elderly that are living in the city, they have it worse than the young people because they're not as mobile as they used to be. They have to depend on others, and they don't like that. Many of them can't drive anymore. Their license have been taken away. They can't see as well. They can't get around as well. And so it makes them angry, anxious, and bitter. These people are under a lot of stress, especially if they live in the city. The city is stressful, period, to anybody. Just being there. You go out of your house, there's people everywhere. You got to navigate through the people. Now, you say this lady was rude to you because you didn't get out of the way fast enough while she was trying to get by with her walker. She's just angry. She's just mad that she's got to come out there and deal with it. And they are tired. You know, it's not easy to walk around with that walker, especially you could be in pain, you could be exhausted, and you just got to try to make it to wherever you're going. These people are tired and anxious just living in the city. And they are angry. It's very difficult living in New York City. Everything is expensive, too much traffic, and people are disrespectful because they're all bunched up together and everybody's trying to make it. City life can be stressful on anyone, but it can be doubly, triply stressful on the elderly. All right. So you may find elderly people in a city environment being very angry and disrespectful, more than if you find them in a rural part. Now, you can go to the rural areas and find them being just as rude. But these people, I believe these people were rude when they were young. It didn't just come on them because they got old. They were rude and disrespectful and toxic, probably the better parts of their lives. People who are kind, and they have always been kind people, when they get older, they're kind. They're not rude and disrespectful to people. These are the people who have been disrespectful and rude all their lives. And many of them, believe it or not, are narcissists. They just old narcissists. And they just trying to let out that whatever they can, as long as they can. Many of the elderly have been estranged from their families because the families don't want to deal with them. You know, they're ill and it's a big bother. And we're talking about the ones who haven't been put away in the home, where the families don't even want to deal with them. Just put them away. Those people, many of them in these nursing homes, are extremely disrespectful because they are angry. Their families have abandoned many of them. Their families don't even visit anymore. Just put them over there and forget about it. You see, in this society, we have not been groomed to care for our elderly at all. At all. We have been taught to put them away. Now, there are some cultures who take care of their elderly. You see, and they don't put their elderly in nursing homes. But they have been raised to take care of the elderly. There are many cultures out there. There are some cultures out there that the elderly never leave the home. They stay right there with the family. Now, these elderly people are probably pretty pleasant and feel pretty good because they're still there with their families, giving them support, giving them love. But if they're on their own or put away in a nursing home somewhere, these people are not happy. They're not happy. And that's why they're angry and toxic. And because they're old, they don't even care. Because they figure, I'm not going to live that much longer anyway. And they're angry about that. And they don't care what you think. You see? And many of them who are in nursing homes feel like that the staff is obligated to take whatever they dish out to them. And that's why they do it. Because they know that the staff is not able to retaliate in any way. And the staff, if they want to keep their jobs, act like it's not happening. Ignore it the best way they can. Some of these elderly are extremely toxic. They curse them out all the time. They throw things at them. They spit on them. They do a lot of these terrible things to caregivers. Now, there are families who put their elderly away because they can't handle it. They can't handle them at home. These elderly people were not nice people when they were young. So when they get old, they're even worse. And their families don't want to deal with that. So they put them away. And guess what? Now the caregiver in the nursing home has to deal with these toxic people. These people never healed that toxicity in their lives. They never worked on themselves. They may be angry because they can't work anymore or take care of themselves. The family controls their money. They don't like that. They don't like it at all. They had to leave their homes because they couldn't care for themselves anymore. The family don't want to care for them. The family puts them away somewhere. These people are mad. Extremely angry. Elderly people, basically in this society, are not respected at all. People treat them like they're just in the way. They're just in the way, and they can't wait until they die off and get out of their way. The society is all about the young and the vibrant, not the elderly. We don't care about the elderly at all, and they know it. I remember when I took care of my father, and they suspended his license. He was extremely angry about that. He could not understand why they would do that. Of course, he had dementia. He would drive around and forget where he was and wouldn't tell anybody that he was going anywhere. So it's really dangerous. They took his license and he was extremely distraught about that. You see, there are a lot of things. And then when he had to lose his home, he was extremely distraught about that. You see, the elderly basically go through a lot when they hit a certain age, when they cannot care for themselves anymore. And they fall in the hands of other people. They don't like that. Many of them have been independent all their lives. And all of a sudden now they have to take orders and directions from other people. They don't like it. It's hard. It's a difficult thing. Even for me. I'm extremely independent. I don't know how I'm going to feel when I can't take care of myself anymore. I hope that doesn't happen. But it happens to a lot of us. We can't function anymore, and then we find ourselves falling into the hands of our family. The mercy of our family. Now, think about this. If you haven't been good to your family in all the years that you cared for them, when you get old, they don't want to care for you at all. They don't even like you. And that's why many of the elderly end up in those nursing homes. And their families won't even visit. So you can understand why they're so mad and stressed out in the nursing homes. Now, not saying that all of them are like that, but many of them are. I believe if a person is a kind and wonderful person throughout their lives, they can take that energy, that loving energy, into old age. But if they were toxic during their lives and narcissistic during their lives, then they will be that way, toxic and narcissistic in old age. Now, this is something that happens to the narcissist when he gets old. As long as the narcissist is getting supply, he will continue his evil ways even in old age. But if the narcissist does not get the supply that he or she needs in old age, that demon will leave the narcissist. And you will see the narcissist crumble away. Crumble away. The real person has left the building a long time ago. The only thing inside that person was that demonic energy. So when the demonic energy leaves, the narcissist is like a shell. It's like a shell. And many of them don't talk anymore. They don't think anymore. They're just there. They're kind of like in a comatose state, but they're awake. They don't have a soul. They don't have a spirit. They don't have anything to say. Because that demonic energy that was controlling that person most of their lives, when that energy cannot get that supply anymore, that energy will leave. And you will only see a shell left. A shell. And I saw this with my father, who was a narcissist. When the demonic energy could not get the supply anymore, and I was not feeding the narcissist. I took care of the narcissist, but I was not feeding the narcissist with that supply. And what the supply is, your emotions, your attention, sitting down and just feeding them energy. I didn't do that. I made sure the narcissist was comfortable, the narcissist was fed, the narcissist was clean. That was it. But supply, emotional supply, I didn't give it. And the demonic energy left the narcissist in a shell. And he stayed in a shell until he finally died. You see, this is what that demonic energy wants to do anyway, to destroy you. And then once it destroys you, it goes on looking for new vessels to occupy. Many of these elderly people who are nasty and rude are narcissistic. It's evil people. And you can look at these old people and see how evil they are. Many of the elderly suffer from depression because getting old is no fun. This society doesn't respect elderly people, so it's no fun when you find yourself getting older. Most of them are in physical pain. You can't be happy if you are in pain. And you know, if you're getting around with a walker, you are probably feeling some pain. You want to hurry up and get somewhere where you can sit down and relax. Lots of them cannot hear that well. They can't hear. So when you're saying something to them, they go, what? What? What'd you say? And you think they're being disrespectful, but they didn't hear what you said at all. And they probably have death on their mind, because if they have not healed and found their spiritual awakening during their lives, they're thinking about death now at an older age. And to them, death is fearful. It's fearful. You see, what's going to happen to me? Where am I going after death? But if you have spiritually awakened, you're not afraid of death, because you realize that death is just a transition. It's just a transition into another dimension. But many of the elderly, they haven't healed spiritually and they don't understand. So death is an issue for them. Many of them are not techie, so they're not up with the technology. Many of them don't even know how to use their cell phones, much less a computer. And everything today is technical, going into technology, higher technology. Everything is faster now. The internet, tablets, chat rooms, texting, social media. Older people don't understand that. They can't keep up with that. Period. So they feel left behind. And maybe their spouse has passed away and they feel alone. You know, if you have not lived alone in your life, and once you get older or you get elderly and you lose your partner that you have been dependent on for most of your adult life, and your partner passes away, you are lost. Totally lost. Many elderly people don't know how to function if their partners pass away. And many women who have depended on their husbands for finances, resources, help in the home, help getting around. He used to drive the car and now he passed away. He was your life support. That can leave you in a devastating position. And you can end up being very mad about it, very angry about it, don't know how to cope with it. Because now you have to depend on people that you don't want to depend on. You don't want to be in that situation. And many of the elderly who move in with their children, they don't like that. Many of them don't like that at all, because many times they would need to move in with the child that they weren't that good to in the first place. The child that they weren't that good to. Now they got to move in with them. And they feel like they need to fight. They need to fight their way through this. There are many reasons why the elderly can be disrespectful. But I believe it's mostly because they lived an unhealed life. And that's why they turn out this way. They've always been this way. They've always had that toxicity throughout their lives. And when they get elderly, it's just in your face because they can't move around as fast. Many of them, they have to move in with you. Or if you put them away in a nursing home, then whoever cares for them has to deal with that toxicity. It's because these people have not healed during their lives. They have not found peace. They have not found happiness. It didn't just pop up when they got old. No, they've always been like that. Throughout their entire lives, they never bothered to change. So now that they're old, they feel like somebody owes them something. So they take it out on whoever is available, thinking that it will make them feel better, but it never does. They just drown themselves in their toxic ways. And they do it until they pass away. This is demonic energy. Demonic energy is evil. These people never bothered to heal themselves when they were young or when they had the ability to. They didn't see the need to heal. They felt like the way that they were living their lives was working for them. But now, since they can't take care of themselves and they fall into the hands of other people, they're still toxic and nobody wants to deal with them. And they know it. They lash out at every turn. So there are many reasons why elderly people can be rude and disrespectful. What do we do with them? I say, don't allow any of them to drag you into their toxic world. And if you react to their toxicity, it has a way of bringing you back into a low vibration. So the best way to do it is to ignore it. Ignore it and just walk away. It's demonic. Nothing that you can say or do is going to change that energy. So, to save yourself, walk away from it and forget about it. Walk away from it. Don't engage at all. And if you can avoid them, do it. It's that evil energy that's controlling them. And it's the evil energy that will try to capture you. You see, when that person dies, that evil energy has to go somewhere. And you don't want it to grab you. You don't want that. So walk away from toxicity. Don't engage. Don't sit there and try to argue with them and tell them why you like this and why you talking like this and don't talk to me. And then you want to turn around and curse them out because they cursed you out. Now they brought you down into the low vibrations with them. And the evil spirit is actually happy about that. Using this old person to drag you down. Don't let it happen, people. Be aware of what's going on out here. This is evil. Evil. It works on the young and the old. Be careful of it and know it when you see it. Be on your spiritual path, because when you are, you can be protected from this energy, period. And when you're on your spiritual path and somebody comes at you like that, some old person, you'll feel sorry for them, because you will realize that they are in their hell right now. Their hell that they're afraid to go to, they're living it right now. Let it be, people. Realize what you're dealing with, and don't allow these people to affect your energy. Because remember, that's what demonic energy wants to do. It loves company. So it's trying to get as much company as possible. Love yourself, people, and don't allow these toxic elderly people to bring you down. To bring you down into demonic vibrations and energies. I hope that you understand the message today. And I really hope that it helps you. These demonic energies are everywhere. We are actually in a spiritual warfare right now. Every day. Demonic energies are trying to destroy spiritual awakening energies. They don't want you to awaken. They want you to stay asleep. So love yourself. Get on your spiritual path and prosper and be happy. Live your life. And when you get old, you'll still be prospering and happy and living your life and enjoying your life. There's no reason for you to be elderly, disrespectful, or rude. Now, those of you who have questions that you would like for me to answer, here is the link. Send your questions to Miss Faye's World, YT@hotmail.com. That's Miss Faye's World, YT@hotmail.com. And try to keep your letters to one page. Just summarize your situation and ask the question. And if you prefer that I answer your question privately through the email, just put it at the very top of your letter, and I will comply. I want to thank you so much for your letters. And thank you so much for your comments. I do read them, so just keep them coming. I really appreciate them. And I want to thank those that leave a donation. I really appreciate it. I wish you all the very best and happiness, and I really hope to see you next time.